What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Ryder. I'm a commercial real estate broker and content creator in Lexington, Kentucky. This channel is all about doing deals and then helping deal makers with personal branding and productivity. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the #1 most impactful quote that I have ever read, absorbed, and applied on the subject of sales. It actually energized me all week, and I believe it will energize you too and maybe help fill your pipeline in 24. So welcome to my weekly 3-minute recap of the previous week. This one for week 2 of January, the 8th through the 12th. Let's go. Okay, so every weekly recap will start with the same thing, which is my weekly cold call count. This is the specific list I was aiming at, and one of the things I'm using YouTube to create accountability with. This week's count happened to be 33, up from 17 last week. Not exactly where I wanted to be. However, I did lose basically an entire day, got into a multiple offer situation on a deal today, which is fantastic for the deal, for the client. So I will continue to strive for 45 a week to my specific list and report back with you. So as I said, this week I discovered the most incredible quote on sales that I've ever read in my entire life. And I'm really excited to share it with you because it very much changed my perspective. It once again is from The Practice by Seth Godin, from the section he calls Selling is Where the Juice Lies. Is there any profession that more people seek to avoid? Even salespeople work hard to avoid making sales calls. It's hard to imagine a bookkeeper who spends his day not keeping books, or a doctor who actively avoids seeing her patients. Absolute genius, by the way. Genius. But sales. It's not surprising that true sales, as opposed to order taking, which is a different thing entirely, is an anathema to many people. Sales is about change, turning, quote, I never heard of it, into no and then yes. No and then yes. So have you ever looked at sales like this? Think of yourself as a sleazy person hawking different things onto people or trying to get people to do stuff, but instead you're out there creating change. I mean, he literally says sales is about upending the status quo of what the world was like before you got there. Not for you, not for your selfish reasons, but for the people who will benefit from the change you created. So what is the alternative? Of course, it's an amateur. So you're either a creator in sales or you're an amateur. And a creator will step up to the plate and upend the status quo and create a positive change for someone. Alternatively, an amateur will sell just to sell or sell to make money for themselves. They won't look at it like a creation of change in someone's life. So what do you do to create this belief in your own life? That's a great question, and I'm actually going to finish up there. It says, most of all, sales is about intentionally creating tension. The tension of maybe, the tension of this might not work, the tension of what will I tell my boss? Why would anyone sign up to create tension? But that's precisely the tension that we dance with as creators. This is how we get sold on the thing we're creating before we share it. So I think one of the best things you can do with this information is simply convince yourself that you're not a salesperson, but that you're a change maker, and that in doing sales, you're creating change. But I've actually looked at this text I got right before Christmas like 40 times because I did have a client reach out and say, so this is the first Christmas season in 40 years I have not worked, was stress-free, and had time for my family and friends. That's because we sold the assets that took up a vast majority of her time. It was a wonderful gift, and I thank you both. Here's to an amazing 2024. So heading into the 3rd week of 2024, I'm just ready to make some change.